The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah!
Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome to the show. It's Friday, and it's hot. It's 99 degrees. No live shot of the plaza today. We're running a little behind, so apologies for that. But it is 99 degrees outside today. It feels like 108. Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, Shannon Gross live here in studio where it's probably, what do y'all think it is, 70, 69? Good round number.
I'm not gonna lie, it's a little nippy in
It
here.
is a little chilly.
I got the hoochie daddies on, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Showing off them legs.
I'm like,
that
whoa.
pulled hamstring. And joining us live from Oxnard, California, the Hulkster. Nate, big, sexy Newton. What's up, Nate? It's 72 out there and feels like 72, man. You're looking good. How are
Yes,
you?
it is. Well, yeah, they updated me. They said 77, and it's feeling like 77, man. I'm finna just go around the world, man, and y'all see the Cowboys way down there practicing. They running from me. Yeah, so I'm just having a great time. Thank y'all for having me on the show,
Absolutely.
man.
This is the best part of
Yeah.
our show, man. Most of the time,
Yeah.
except whenever you're trying to show us your junk with your camera. But other than that,
whoa.
Yeah, stop,
Pause.
stop,
That's
Shannon,
wild.
stop.
what?
Stop,
Don't tell
stop,
on
Shannon.
air.
Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that?
God.
My bad, Nate. Sorry about that. Anyway, who was that
you
you were
have
talking
everybody
to?
thinking I'm a maniac.
Who was that you were talking to before we went on the air? Who was that? Steve who?
It was Steve Berline, my old teammate. He started our run. We went that year. He was the quarterback in our first playoff game against the Philadelphia Eagles. But what we needed was win at the end of the year against the Philadelphia Eagles. And he won that game for us, him and Kevin Martin, with an 89-yard punt return. And so that started our playoff run of about 4, 5, or 6 years straight of taking care of the NFC East. So that was my boy Steve Berline. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's just get into it. Anybody in the national media, local media, all anyone has been talking about is Trevon Diggs telling Dak Prescott, shut your beep up.
Yep.
Right? And everybody's making it a big deal. And I don't think, LaShawn McCoy came out and said they don't respect him as a leader and no one talks to their quarterback like that. And Jesse, you tweeted out a video of Troy talking about like Charles used to talk to everybody like that. Nate, you can jump in on that, but I don't think it's that. Honestly, I think it shows they can talk like that and then they can walk off the field with their arms around each other and talk about the play and like, to me, if anything, it shows you how close of a team they are. Like they can talk like that, compete, and then be cool with each other after. It wasn't like he was disrespecting Dak. To me, it was like you and your friend going at it, and you talk trash, and he's gonna get you sometimes you're gonna get him. They just happen to catch that one right there with the phone in their face. I'm sure that goes on all the time during practice, right?
You want to go first, Nate, or you want me to go?
Hey, go first, Jesse. Take your time because that is so foolish. Go ahead on, man. Go ahead on. Answer the question.
It is one of those things where I get right, Shady McCoy, he has to do things because he's now carved out a role for himself on that network and that space to be this troll type villain. So
You got to have an opinion.
I get it. I 100. Okay, Shady, we get it. The part that bothers me is when we talk about where we've become as a society, and the people who are on the internet now who are living and dying with the things that a guy like Shady McCoy says, and it's not true. Shady McCoy also said that I played with Tom Brady and I played with Michael Vick and some other quarterbacks, and they would never. I too, Shady McCoy, played with Tom Brady. No one as long as you, for a cup of coffee, and yes, they do talk to Tom Brady like that. But guess what?
He talks to them.
He
like
talks
that
to
too?
them like that as well.
Trash talkers are
It happens. If you are in any competitive sport, it's going to happen. That's just the nature of the beast. Now, I said this time and time again. You can call me a B word, you can tell me to shut up, you can tell me. There's only one phrase or a group of words that you put together that'll get me to kind of go, all right now, let's become a little bit more personal. When it comes to men, in any competitive atmosphere, you can't offer me to your Johnson & Johnson. You can't tell me to suck bleepity bleep bleep bleep. That's when all bets are off. Now, teammate, brother, best friend.
And you know, everybody's got that word or that phrase that's there, like, okay.
If you offer me,
so that's yours, huh?
if you offer me to your eggplant emoji, I'm just telling you right now, I don't care how big, I don't care how small, I don't care how many years you got in, I don't care about none of that. If you offer me to the Johnson & Johnson, we have a problem. But if we're in practice, if we're in games, if we're in meetings, if we've gotten it out the mud together and we have that relationship and you go, man, take your BA back to the huddle. It's nothing. Man, shut your BA up. It's nothing. I go back to the huddle. I might say something to you a couple plays later. This thing has been blown so far out of proportion. And one of the things that you always try to stay away from in training camp, and especially the Dallas Cowboys, the distractions. Now Trevon has to speak on this. Now Dak has to speak on this. And it's unfortunate. And I see why guys like Dak now pick days where he speaks and doesn't speak to the media. Excuse me. Because you have situations where a couple weeks ago, they said Dak said he's not going to throw 10 interceptions. Didn't say that. No. Then you have this situation where this Trevon Diggs thing is going out of proportion, and it ain't even that. And then you wonder why guys are saying, you know what, dude? I'm done with the media. I'm done with having those conversations. And it's unfortunate because there are some things as a former player, I want you to know what happens sometimes in the locker room because it is a unified bunch of dudes who have a great time. And yes, we use colorful choice language with one another. And it's been happening since the dawn of the day.
So Nate's got the camera up. CeeDee Lamb's talking to the media there. But Nate, I would argue with anyone that you were a member of probably the best trash-talking locker room to ever exist in the NFL. You had Michael, you had Dion, you had Charles, which may be Charles still talks trash. I mean, you had just we were running down the list.
I mean, guys like
Haley.
Kevin Gogan and Stepnoski, and Kenny Gann and Ken Norton Jr.
The guys that talk me, if you'll let me, I'll tell you the guys that talk hardcore North. Charles Haley, Kevin Gogan, myself, maybe Kenny Gant when he get hyped. It wasn't a lot of guys that would go and just continuously cuss. And it was just on a few guys that would continuously cuss. But everybody on our team talked noise. And depending on what stage you was catching them after a late night, what you would get from those guys. I thought when they first mentioned it to me, I thought that they had got into a physical confrontation and it grew ugly. But when they told me that that it was just what the words that I'm like, okay, y'all, all right. Really? And I was getting ready to do a radio interview. I canceled the radio interview. If that's what you want to talk about, bro, y'all need some new content. For real.
So and
that's just how I feel about it, man.
So neither one of you guys being in the locker room, being on the field, it's not a big deal. It's just that to talk about the Cowboys, right?
Yeah, that is so not even an issue. I'm telling you, I've seen fights happen on the field. And then guys get done and go in the locker room, and everything is fine.
Squash it, yeah.
That's just the nature of the beast when you're talking about football. It happens, the tempers are flaring, and again, Trevon Diggs respects the hell out of Dak Prescott, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. But there's some days when you just like, you know what? I mean, we heard a story where Coach Jimmy Johnson tells Michael Irvin, start a fight today. Start a fight. Go out there and start a fight. Don't worry about go and start a fight because we need the energy to be picked up. And a fight starts, the energy picked up, now everybody's ready to go. Practice is beautiful. It just happens, man. It sucks that this became a national story.
Because nowadays there's microphones everywhere, phones, video, whatever. Do you think the guys will tamper that down some? And is it a bad thing?
No.
If they did?
No.
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 These kids now are probably like, get louder, because then you get to go viral, and then your name's out there everywhere.
Yeah,
brand goes up.
If I'm gonna tell you to shut the bleep up, I'm gonna tell you to hit the bleep up, and that's just what it is. Now, I don't curse. That's not my forte. But there were a time when I was playing where it just got that way. I was talking to my best friend who played safety. He was a safety, I was a receiver in college. And the battles that he and I would go at in practice every day, he would hit me late. I would call him a B. He would call me a P. I mean, we would go back and forth, and then guess what? We leave and we carpool home, and everything will be fine.
Who are the trash talkers in your when you were at the Cowboys?
Man, you got guys like Ken Hamlin. If you ever been around Ken Hamlin, you know Ken Hamlin's going to talk trash.
Marcus Spears. He talk trash.
Spears talk trash. Jay Ratliff. Now, Jay Ratliff his trash talking was, it was a little bit dangerous.
It was scary.
Because if Jay Ratliff tell you he gonna F you up, you didn't know whether that was gonna stay on the football field.
Right.
Because I've seen it go into the locker room and he's been anytime somebody will tell the owner that he'll F him up, that's a little bit different. That's a different type of dude right there. But Gerald Sensabaugh, Mike Jenkins, Orlando Scandrick, Patrick Creighton.
Why is it all these little dudes that do all the trash?
It's the Napoleon complex, right?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say right.
Well, you haven't pointed right at me. That's
sorry.
fine. It's true. I mean, it's like me.
Nate, let's ask Isaiah Stanback. I played with Isaiah Stanback. Let's ask Isaiah about trash talking on the field.
Isaiah, who was the trash talkers when you played?
Uh-oh. We lost Nate. Oh, well.
His phone died.
His phone.
Maybe.
Probably. But yeah, I mean, like me, being a small guy, you wouldn't know this because you've probably been the biggest guy in your class growing up. The small guy, like, to avoid being picked on, you did one of two things. You either talk trash, or you're funny.
Right.
So I learned how to try to be funny and talk trash, but talk trash in a way where people didn't feel like I was talking about them. They were laughing. They were laughing along with me, right? So I mean, it's the same thing when you're the little guy in the locker room. You're either funny or you got to poke your chest out a little bit. I hear Nate. I don't see his video.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Nate?
Isaiah, stand back. Who was the trash talkers when you play? Who talked noise when you play?
Tell him he's live on the air.
Go with T.O., Pac-Man Jones,
Oh, yeah, T.O.
Tank Johnson, Jay Ratliff. Who else we got?
Yourself?
The backfield, Tashard Choice.
Oh, yeah, T-Choice.
Just guys, yeah.
Isaiah
Hey,
talk
what's
trash.
up? Say hi
Yeah.
to Shannon, big dog. Y'all know who that guy is?
Hey, what's up, T?
That's Tyrus Smith.
Look at looking sexy. Look at that beard.
Was my speech okay?
Their speech was amazing. They need to hear it.
Thank you, bro. They need to fight harder so y'all can just dance outside.
They need to hear it.
Yes, sir. That's my boy. Hey, he been in the league since the league started, and he said he gonna play forever. Hey, my
Wow.
boy said he gonna play forever.
What speech did you give?
Yeah.
You talked to the team?
I talked to the offensive line.
When?
It's mainly to the guards and centers.
Why
telling them
don't
how
you ever
important
tell us
they
this?
were and how
Like
they had to
you're
stop
very
Nate,
selective
this
what you
is
tell us.
this is the people show. That's what the people want to hear. Like, do it for the show, Nate.
Yeah.
Tell us what you did. What'd you do?
I am. We already had so many hot topics that I thought that was so far down the list. Hey, Bones Fossil. Hold on a minute. I got Bones Fossil. Who's going to be the kicker, coach?
We'll see in about 3 weeks.
We'll see about 3 weeks. Okay, but both of them look good, right?
Look pretty good.
Yeah, but
Young,
that
strong.
guy from the US of A looking real good.
You bet Bones could
Yeah,
do
all
some
right.
You got a good eye for kicker talent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
He's another
Coach.
funny dude.
Thank you.
He's been skinny
All right.
his whole life.
What's up,
He look
bro?
like he playing
How
Call
you
of Duty
doing?
out there with that
Yeah.
headset on. They telemarketer. All right, Nate. Hey,
But I'm telling you.
we're going. You grabbing anybody else before we go to break, or you want us to go to break?
Nah, y'all go to break, man, and hurry back, because there's a bunch of guys I had at the end of practice. I'm just going to walk up in their face.
All right, we're going to go break. We're going to talk about. I want y'all to grade D-Ware's performance last night. Let's talk about that, and then Nate,
It was great. It was great.
You break down what you told the offensive line. When we come back, second segment of Hanging with the Boys.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the second segment of the show, brought to you by blockchain.com every day, and our show brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. The proud partner and sponsor of Hanging with the Boys. They've been with us from almost the beginning, haven't they?
It's been a while.
Yeah, we need to get some food back in this joint.
Yeah, we do.
When the season starts. Yeah, we'll get that going. All right, what you looking at, Nate? What's going on now? You said you were a little upset.
Man, I wanted to get the quarterbacks with Coach McCarthy breaking the quarterbacks, but they got away before we could get back out of the break. But you see Coach McCarthy right there talking to Bones Foster and his family, and the coaches and their families out. He's hugging everybody. He's PRing it right. He's doing it right, Jess.
Oh, is it family?
Boy, Freaky Mike.
Is it family day today?
Yeah, family day. Yeah, it's family. Yeah, because tomorrow they'll have the scrimmage, and that'll be on live.
Tomorrow's
being
the scrimmage?
streamed back to the. Yes, tomorrow's the
I can't
scrimmage,
say what I
so
want to say
everything will be
because I
live.
don't want to get in trouble with the boss. You know how I feel about that scrimmage.
Right.
The coverage of it. But
Yeah.
scrimmage is tomorrow.
Wow.
All right, so Nate,
Yeah.
tell us what brought on this. Did you volunteer to talk to the O-line? Did someone ask you to? How did this transpire?
No, you know the eating area. You know the eating area where we at, and then you got all the guys that are working the security and stuff like that, and the logistics of the camp is right before you go into the cafeteria for the workers and employees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking out, and Coach Laura was just looking at me. I'm like, Coach, you all right? Everything's good. It's always a great thing to see. And he said, nah, man, I want you to talk to my team. And I'm like, oh, I want to talk to the football team. He's like, no, to the O-line. He said, I need you to do that. I said, okay, cool. I said, I've never been in this room. I said, but he said, what are you going to, he was trying, I was like, what do you want me to talk about? He said, anything. But what I've been noticing on film is that our guards need to be a little bit more physical and stop and fight earlier to give our tackles a chance to have space to dance with those defensive ends. So I said, I'm going to talk on fighting, Coach. And so I went in and introduced myself and told him who I was, and that me and Coach Laura have been together on and off a lot of years. And so I told him how important it is to have a strong center guard combination so that the sooner you set up in the pocket, the better it is for our tackles to run around the outside. And I didn't do it long. It took me about a minute and a half, and said good things about Tyron and Steele, because I'm saying that I told him that the guards were the most important people, the guards in the center, not so much the tackles. So I had to say, hey, let our tackles be athletic, because I put my foot in my mouth. But Tyron liked it because he's like, that's what I've been trying to tell him. They need to step up so I can just run this boy around the outside and not give number 11 two ways to go. I was like, thanks, Tyron, thanks. Hey, I love it, man, and I'm just going to get a close-up of the coach. I'm not going to get into that conversation because he's talking to some young ladies. But, hey, that was the story. And, Jesse, have you ever talked to the team? Are you going to talk to the team when you come out?
I always talk to the rookies. They always allow me to talk to the rookies. I haven't talked to the receivers in a long time since Coach Sherman was there. But I mean, when I would love to. I would love to impart some wisdom on the young fellas right there.
Right.
What's the?
Got some climbers here. Tell me when you're ready.
Nate, what would you, if you were to talk to the rookies?
Nice hanging.
At camp, the guys that are just stepping on a pro field for the first time, what would you tell them?
You want to go up?
I would tell them, this is the first thing I would tell them, Shannon. The quicker you realize that you're in Dallas, there's other markets that's bigger, but there's none more vulnerable to the media than the Cowboys, because it's always cameras for the Dallas Cowboys. And that's from our fans, that's from anybody. And I tell them quickly, and I know Jesse gets this across real well, be careful what you say, what you do, and especially where you do it at. That's my first thing. And then I start telling them the positives. But I want them to know off the bat that you're under the most scrutiny you'll ever be. I don't care if you went to USC. I don't care if you went to Alabama, went to Bama. You are not going to face this type of scrutiny. You are a select few of a select few. It's 1,500 guys, Jess, that's out there in the league, right?
Yeah,
am I correct?
Roughly.
But this 60 to 70 players are the most scrutinized players in the National Football League and probably in all of sports. And when you do something, you will be called out if you're on that active roster and making a dent in this league.
Can you imagine? The media here is they're pretty
easy going.
Fair, easy going. They're not like a market like New York. Like, can you imagine if the media in Dallas was like they are in Philly or New York, where they're just like going at you all the time? It would be like
Jerry would have you missing. Be like the Yankees.
Yeah.
Jerry would have you missing. He'd be like, hey, you know what? Next thing you know, you take a road trip.
He's
you
not
don't
on
come
the
back.
beat anymore, is he? What happened to that guy? I don't know what happened to him. He's covering the Spurs now. I don't know.
He's covering handball games down in the Rio Grande Valley.
But I mean, Jesse, you talk to the rookies, and I know you talk about this, and it's hard to fathom. Going off what Nate said, when you're in this kind of a pressure cooker when it comes to like just being out in public in society, like if you go to a club or you go out, you can't trust anybody because, you being a practice squad guy, like that's.
Well, I was an active roster guy.
I'm sorry. But my bad. I'm sorry. But I mean, I'm just talking about
No, mess with you.
Practice squad guys, they walk in a club and it's like, it doesn't have to be a Micah or a Trevon. Right. I mean, it could be, that's a Dallas Cowboy. And then all of a sudden, the tension shifts over there and the guys want to hang out with you and they're buying you drinks and shots. And then the girls start leaving the tables around your table and they start coming over. And I mean, you just really, like most of these guys, they have a small tribe of people that they trust, that they go do stuff with. And anybody that's outside of that, you just, the sooner you can see them for what they are, the better off you're going to be. And how long does it take these young guys to figure that out? Do they have to get burned a couple times? Some never do.
I mean, some never do. I mean, and not to harp on a bad situation, but you look at a situation like Bossman Fat with the murder situation that happened a year or so ago, right? And that's young players being in a situation where you forgot. You forgot for a moment in time that you're not just some random. That your crew just isn't a random crew and that all eyes on you every time you walk into the building. But you allowed that situation to almost completely derail not only your career, but your life. And that's one of the things I talk to the rookies about. I always tell them, I go, who you hang around is paramount. Because when it goes down, especially if it goes down in a bad way, the reporters, the media people, I don't care about your boy. Your name is going in the 12-inch bold headlines or 6-inch or whatever it is. Your name's going in there. We're not talking about the rest of the guys. We're talking about you. And then now you have to deal with that. And so all that, that is a part of the situation. And I always tell them, when they deal with the young ladies, like we always hear no means no. And I always tell those guys, you ain't that cute, that ain't her first time. It's just the way that, I remember I told Deuce that, I told Mozzie that at the what's-call. I said, you ain't that cute, that ain't her first time. They start laughing. I go, it's the truth. I go, think about all the people that are here in the DFW area. Baseball, basketball, hockey, current, retired, just retired. All here. And you just got here a month ago? And this is what you're competing against. You think the number of dudes who've been here, the guys in your locker room, guys have been there 5, 6, 7, 10 years. You just got here 2 months ago. You see her in the club a couple times, you better check in the locker room first. You better ask questions. Say, hey, I met this young lady. This is her name. This is her profile. Anybody know anything about that?
Yeah.
Because
about 5 hands to go up.
And then the next question is, do you like her, right?
5 hands to go up.
And then if somebody likes her, then that's off limits, right?
No. Well, if
No. You try to derail this dude from this girl. Let me say this right here. Let me say this right here. A young lady that puts herself out like that is looking for something. And don't you be that something. Because 9 times out of 10, it ain't marriage. It ain't marriage. So, and I'm not all young ladies are like that, and not all young ladies that go out and have a nice time are not like that. But there are a few, and they are catfishing, and don't you get caught.
and I also remind the young players as well.
Just being honest.
I go, we all jump to this phone and we want to post where we're at and post what we're doing and show our cars and show our jewelry. I tell the guys all the time, I go, here's what I know about you. When the season starts, even training camp, I know where you are every Sunday for at least 3 hours. At least 3 hours.
Yeah.
At least 3 hours. So while you're showing your jewelry off and your cars off and you're showing things in your house and you're letting all these folks in, into your home, most times when there are robberies or home invasions or things come up missing from celebrities of the likes, it's an inside job. So be careful who you give the front door code to. Be careful who you let upstairs. Be careful who you just bring around, what neighborhood you live in, because people think because you have money or you have this cowboy mystique that you have a surplus. So if I take your Rolex, he can get another one. If I take your chain, they can get another one. If we steal your rims, that's Shannon Gross. He works for the Cowboys. He can just replace those things. And while some of that may be true, I don't want to have to replace my rims or my watch or my chain or my TVs or whatever it may be because you decided that you wanted to take from me. Be careful about all those things, man. And be careful about you going out to certain places because they will set you up. It's a very fine line that you have to play when you get to this type of position. Everyone can't come to your crib. You damn sure shouldn't be going to everybody else's house. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to find that happy medium. Hey, let's meet at a very popular hotel, right, where there's cameras. And if anything goes down, they can see when I came in. They can see when I leave. Because at times that may be the only thing that keeps you from a case of being guilty or being not guilty or whatever it may be. So, it's a very, very slippery slope. If you got you a nice little, cinnamon apple, stick with it. But if not, just be careful. It's a wild west.
Be careful, Coach.
All right, we're gonna take another break, Nate. I want you to walk over to Coach McCarthy and Mr. Jones and just ask them when Zach's gonna be back in camp, so we can quit talking about it. Just walk over there and ask.
They gone, fellas.
Okay,
they gone.
We'll ask them tomorrow.
Sorry.
Go in the lunchroom and ask them. All right, we'll be right back. And we're gonna talk about D-Ware and we're gonna grade his performance on singing the national anthem when we come back. The last segment.
Great job, D-Ware. Great job.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of fan you are. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com is one of the most trusted ways to buy, sell, and trade crypto. Whether you're always on the go or stay closer to home, Blockchain.com is just a few taps away. Put the power of crypto in your pocket, so no matter where you are, you can trade on your terms and build a crypto portfolio to fit your life. For crypto pros, rookies, and anyone in between, Blockchain.com makes it easy to own a piece of the future. Blockchain.com, trusted by millions, trusted by America's team.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show. The final segment is brought to you by Jigsaw, the Dallas Cowboys official dating app. And the show itself is brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Shannon Gross, Jesse Holly, Kurt Daniels live in studio. Nate Newton live from training camp in Oxnard, California. And I got a call last night while I was at the gym, and it was a very excited Nate Newton singing the praises of DeMarcus Ware, singing the national anthem. And I didn't get to see it because I was at the gym, didn't even realize he was doing it. And then I was like, man, he must have killed it, because Nate was just like, boy, he nailed it. And then when I get in the car, I start flipping through social media while I'm waiting on my car to cool off, and people are just killing him, killing the man about how bad it was. Now, did I think it was great? No.
There was not Whitney Houston and
no.
Super Bowl, whatever.
But you're talking about one of the best defensive ends to ever play the game, that no one knew had any kind of talent at all, I'm sure, in the singing realm. One, just for him to have the cojones to do that in front of what they had, probably 40, 50,000 people at that game.
Millions watching. Right?
And everybody on TV. One, just that, and hats off to D-Ware. But I thought he did decent. I thought he did good. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was as terrible as everybody made it out to be on social media. What do you think, Kurt?
Well, the same. I mean, we were talking before, like, he doesn't have a professional singing voice, but he got out there in front of all those people. He knew all the words. He made it all the way through. That, I've seen some really bad national anthems through the years, and I mean that was good. That was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah,
what do you think, Jess?
Yeah,
fine.
It's fine. I would advise D-Ware to make this a world tour situation, right? Like, you done it, and then the meaning behind of it, right? That's
Great
the important
job.
part of it.
Great, super job.
Oh, Nate's
having to hit mute because they're playing music over the loudspeakers, and then we don't want to get any kind of copyright issues, so he's just.
But the reason why he said he did it, his late friend, the late great Demarcus Thomas, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos, he said he and Demarcus used to stand next to each other for every single national anthem, and they would sing it together. And so he said this was kind of a salute and shout out to him as to doing it. And so the meaning behind of it makes it even more special, despite whether you feel like he can carry a tune or not. That takes, like you said, that takes a lot of kahunas to get out there in front of millions of people watching. And
Great job. Great job.
Great job.
Super job.
Yep. As Nate said. Nate, how do you feel about what DeMarcus Ware
Was it just fine?
He carried it in his own tune, in his own melody. He did it from his heart. I love it. It was a great job. Hey, man, I love it when one of us, a player, go outside of his zone and do things like that right there, Jesse. I mean, hey, I love it. I love it, Shannon. I love it, Kurt. It's just like, hey, America the beautiful, baby, where you get a chance to do all things, and a lot of them you shouldn't.
You play with D Ware.
Yes.
You got any D Ware stories or memories of D Ware?
Yeah, you talk about when you see these guys in the National Football League and they're these heroic figures, sometimes the person gets separated from the player. And as Hall of Fame, and this is not cliche talk, like this is legit. I have no reason to. D Ware is as good as a person as he was a player. Like, I remember him letting me in the parking lot drive his Ferrari. Because I was like, I want to see what it is. He's like, you want to see? He just gives me the keys. I'm like, go ahead. I'm like, you sure? He's like, yeah, go ahead. And he lets me drive his Ferrari in the parking lot, like, do donuts and stuff like that, because I've never been in the Ferrari before. The stuff like that. D Ware was one of the guys who, when I first came onto the team, he came and sat down with me at the table and was like, bro, like, you're a part of this team now. I watched the show. You deserve to be here. Yeah. But don't sit by yourself over here. Don't alienate yourself. Come sit with the rest of us. And he said, and we had, lunch and dinner. When I remember I still have him till this day. I need to get him, put HOF on him now. But he signed a pair of cleats for me. He was going through his locker, and they're black and pink pairs for the month of October. NFL used to do breast cancer. And he's like, hey, man, you want these cleats? And in my mind, I can't fit them, but I was going to give them away. And then I'm like, yeah, sure. And he tossed them to me. And I'm like, I never really asked for autographs. I just didn't. We had moments in time in the season where we would have an autograph line. They'll go to the locker room, kind of get your stuff signed in. And he's like, hey, you want me to sign them? And I was like, yeah. And I toss them back, and he signs them. And he's like, here you go. I didn't give those away. I kept them. I still have them for myself. But it's just stuff like that, man. When you look at a guy like D Ware, he was the first person I ever seen to have a black card, right? The Amex black card. We were having dinner in Phoenix, and we always played the game, credit card roulette, right? Everybody puts their credit card in the hat. Now it's 14 of us eating dinner. The bill is hefty, right? And there's I'm like this with my credit card. I'm like,
please, no.
I'm like, Lord, I should have never sat here with these people. But please don't let them pull my card to pay for this dinner. And D Ware goes, I got it. And he puts the card on the table, and it makes ding, 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 ding. And I said, what is that? And I looked, I was like, that's a black card. I was like, can I hold it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, they said that you have to kind of spend a certain amount of money to do. He's like, yeah, I just bought a house with this car the other day. I was just like, oh,
wow.
Okay. Yeah. And so, but that's D Ware, man.
The Amex black card should be paying for dinner.
Yeah. But I mean, that's D Ware. And then you get on the football field and.
Yeah, and the thing that stood out to me about him from the first day that I met him is when you talk to him, he's the most humble, soft-spoken, personable. No matter who you are, he's going to get down on your level and talk to you. Look you in the eye, talk to you. But then you see him on the field, and you're like, oh my God, he's a beast.
Yeah.
But did he trash talk on the field?
So that was the first thing that stood out to you, Shannon?
All right, where are you going with this? Nate? You're on mute.
You say he got down on your level.
Stop. You know what I meant? I meant look you in the eye. Nobody was.
You said that, I knew it wasn't getting.
I know. Nobody was. Sometimes they always say don't meet your idols, right?
Right.
You get disappointed. You get let down. There's a couple of guys that immediately stand out to me and that I've met around the building. Darren Woodson's one that talks to you like you know him, whether you just met him or whatever. And the next time he sees you, he'll remember you, and he'll be like, "Hey, how you been?" I might not remember your name,
right?
But and D Ware's like that. It's been 10 years since you saw him. He's got that big smile with those dimples, and he's always he's just been a great human being, man. I'm so glad he got it. He should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer.
For sure.
I don't know how you justify that, but anyway. So
let me give a quick shout out to Chuck Howley too. We've got a documentary coming out on him next week. He is talk about deserving a sooner entry. He should have been in long ago. So it's great to see him, even though he's going through some illnesses and won't be there. But it's great for his family. They're so excited. We're excited about this documentary we put together. So it's
when's it come out, Kurt?
Should be on our web channels, YouTube TV, Connected TV app, all that stuff on next Thursday, I believe. And then it'll be airing on the local, on Channel 11 next Saturday. So it's been a fun project, really good people we've talked to, good family, good friends, that kind of thing. So great to see him be included. It's a long time coming.
Yeah, good deal. Did you interview him?
We did not interview Chuck Howley. He's in kind of later stages of dementia and just unable to. He's not going to be at the ceremony. Just his health is declining. But got to go to his hometown up in West Virginia. Got to meet with old friends, family, his son. It's been a cool experience.
Very cool.
Yeah, this the kind of person that D Ware is. And I won't show you guys this, but the crew. Like I text him back in February when it all came down, and I just was sending my congratulations. And the first line that I said to him, I said, I wanted to wait till your phone kind of slowed down from buzzing to wish congratulations. And I said my piece. And then his response was just like, dude, out of all the congratulations coming my way, your ish hit a little different. Thanks for always being true, my brother. And I talked about some stories that I had about him. He said, I need to hear those one day over some drinks. Like, that's D Ware. Like, that's who he is. Like, if you text him, like, he's gonna text you back. Yeah. And little old me, of all the people that text his phone, little old me, he responded to. And that's just trying to tell you the A+ kind of person that D Ware is. And in the last story I'll tell about D Ware was the weight room story. And Nate, you've been around guys like, Big E and guys who can bench the house. And when you look at DeMarcus Ware, yes, he's a big physical dude, but he wasn't like, D Ware is probably 6'3"-ish, 260 pounds, whatever. And he would work out and lift with the offensive defensive linemen, right? But the thing that I saw him do one day that I said, this dude is not human. As we were in there and we were power cleaning. And now most of the time he has 315 pounds on the bar, power cleaning. Now, you power clean that and you gotta get up under that 315. That just ain't no easy feat to do. I don't care how big and strong you are. And I watched D Ware get under that, no straps on his hand, no belt, no nothing. He gets underneath that 315 and he literally begins to do jumping jacks with it. He literally just boom, 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 with 315 pounds. And I remember staring at him and saying, this dude is not from this world. And he drops it and he walks off. And I go, what did I just watch? Wow. My whole life, first of all, I wouldn't even attempt it myself to grab 315 pounds of power clean. Wouldn't even attempted it. And he just did 10 jumping jacks with it as if it was 11 pounds. That's when you can tell the difference between, all the rest of us are gifted. He's different. Yeah. And that's why he has a yellow jacket.
That's that Alabama country.
Yeah, and that's why guys like him have yellow jackets. Guys like Big E have yellow jackets and stuff like that because, like Larry, sorry, not Big E, but Larry Allen have yellow jackets because they're just built different.
Nate, any parting words before we get out of here and head into the weekend?
Hey, great show, fellas, and I enjoyed it, and I'm just going to get off, and I'll be gone, man. Thank y'all for having me once again. All of y'all be blessed today. Thank y'all.
All right, we'll see you on Tuesday, I guess, out from Oxnard, California. Jesse, good seeing you, man. Kurt,
yes, sir.
Have a great weekend. I think we're Tuesday, Thursday next week, aren't we?
I think so.
So Tuesday next week.
You're out there.
Same time. Jesse may or may not be here Tuesday.
I'll work myself. It'll all work out.
All right.
Tuesday I'll be here, but Thursday.
Maybe Thursday. All right, we'll figure it out. Thank y'all for joining us. Everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week on Hanging with the Boys.
We out. Peace. I got your shirt on, Nate.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!